So welcome to From the Road Show with Chris Heiler and Jason Cupp. So this is the inaugural video blog that we're doing, and it might be the beginning as well as the end, depending on how well it goes. So I am sitting at my home in Kansas City, and Chris is sitting at his home in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The background behind this is that Chris and I, for those of you that know us, we've become friends. We were both in the landscape industry. Now we're both focused on business and having fun and kind of living life. And we do that through a variety of different mediums. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is actually on this video blog. And so we really, Chris just said right before we started recording, just so you know, he said, Jason, we need to have lots of structure to this. And I'm kind of like, whatever, structure, schmucture. It's like there's no reason. What are you shaking your head for, dude?
I didn't say lots of structure. I said some structure and consistency.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead.
So here we are. So we've got this crazy idea that we are going to record both live when we're in the same location, as well as like this on Skype when we're not in the same location. We're going to record these random musings about our life and about what we do in our jobs, about observations that we have about business, because Chris and I both invest and spend time helping businesses in a variety of different ways. And so we thought, what a cool way to share what's just going on in our lives and in our travels and the funny observances. Observances. Did I say it right that time?
Got it.
Yes. Okay. Observances from the road. So hence From the Road Show. So this is our inaugural, our orientation, our first stab. And so here we are. I'm sitting here in Kansas City. You're sitting there in Zeeland, Michigan, and we're having our first From the Road Show. So what do you have to offer, man?
I think you pretty much covered everything, except I would add that for those of you that know Jason, he is on the road all the frickin' time. Every time he tweets, it seems like he's always in some other airport. So I think he spends probably 70% of his time out of Kansas City, maybe?
Probably 70% of my time outside of Kansas City. That's probably pretty accurate.
So he's always on the road. I don't travel as much. I've got a little 18-month-old, Charlie. Hey, and I should say, Charlie made his first plane trip yesterday. Flew 3 hours to Houston with his mother.
Sweet.
And no problems whatsoever. Stewardesses absolutely loving him, of course, because he's a Heiler.
Chris, just so you know, they prefer to be called flight attendants, not stewardesses.
We're going to talk about that tonight.
Just telling you, I think if you were to call, excuse me, stewardess, could I have a refill on my coffee? I think that you'd be slapped across the face from said stewardess.
Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying.
Hey, no problem. No problem.
Okay. So that has to do with etiquette. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your lead.
Exactly. So what's on your mind, dude? What are you thinking about?
I saw your tweet. I think it was today. You mentioned something about you were going to write a book about traveling and etiquette. So I thought, well, let's do a video post on that before you write your book.
Yeah, well, I probably won't write a book because my nature is to say that I'm going to write a book and then not write a book. So just so you know, I probably won't ever write the book. But yeah, man, I'll tell you, I spend so much time on the road that that I just observe these crazy nuances of people that are on airplanes or in airports or at hotels or in taxi cabs or whatever it is. And it's hilarious how people just lack travel etiquette. And I think it's just kind of common sense type stuff, not stuff that because I fly a lot that I would recognize. I mean, I think it's just kind of common sense stuff. So, so that's why I put that tweet up, and I think it was yesterday.
Give me some examples. Give me 3 of your top pet peeves.
Okay, so probably my biggest pet peeve would be that when the plane lands, okay, and the plane the door opens and it's time to get off the plane, that there are people that run up the aisle, and it's like they push and they shove, and it's like, no, you go, row one comes out. It's like a wedding, it's like when you leave a wedding, you're supposed to go row one, and then row one, and then row two, and then row two, row three, and you get your luggage down and you exit the plane. But lo and behold, on almost every flight that I'm on, there's somebody that like pushes their way up, or you're getting up and you're pulling your carry-on out of the overhead bin, and they're squeezing by on the backside. So then all of a sudden, you fly into the overhead bin, and it totally is annoying to me. So a lot of my travel etiquette annoyances would be follow the line, because the same thing happens in the security line.
Yep.
But man, I'll tell you, the other one is, and this is like number one. It's like, if you are going to get on a plane, you absolutely need to shower before you get on said plane. You need to shower, because people inherently smell if they don't shower. And it's like, I'm not interested in being on a flight for an hour or 10 hours next to someone who has not showered. And man, I got to tell you, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And I do not understand why people do not shower before they get on an airplane. It is absolutely amazing to me why they do not shower.
Well, let me fill you in on that. Flight leaves at 7 in the morning. Guess what? I'm not taking a shower.
What?
That's a whole other topic. I like to shower in the evenings instead of in the morning.
Okay.
But
so you mean okay, yeah, we'll just put that on a list. We'll talk about that later, because I definitely have some thoughts on it.
If I'm getting on a flight at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to sleep as late as I can. I'm not going to get up and take a shower. But I don't think I stink, though, either. That's just me.
Yeah, people that stink never think they stink, because they get used to their own stench.
Okay. Number 3. Next pet peeve.
Number 3 pet peeve would be irrational travelers who try to blame delays or issues or problems on whoever it is, the pilot, the flight attendant, the gate agent, security people, whatever it is. I mean, it's like they play the blame game. And I'm telling you, it's like, okay, you can't control the weather, people. You can't control if a plane has a mechanical issue. You can't control if I fly in and out of Chicago a lot just because of the nature of me going to the East Coast. I can't get a lot of direct flights from Kansas City. And Chicago oftentimes has ground stops because there's so much air traffic in Chicago. And so sometimes we'll sit on the tarmac here in Kansas City, even though we're supposed to take off at 7 a.m. to use your example. We don't take off till 7:20 because they've issued a ground stop. And I have people that are like, they get totally angry at the flight attendant because of that. There's my top 3.